Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this beaded heart ring. This is what it looks like. This is the band. So to make one of these you're going to need some size 11 Delica beads in 2 colours at least. So one for the heart and at least one for the band. So I'm going to use this one for the heart, which this is the colour, and this one for my band, which is a metallic purple or magenta. And then you'll need your beading thread. I'm going to be using Fireline 6 in crystal, and a beading needle. This is a size 12 beading needle. So thread your needle onto the first piece of thread, which is going to measure 20 inches, and then pick up 3 of your heart colour, slide those down until they're about 4 or 5 inches away from the end of your thread, and then you want to go up through the first bead. Now you're going to pick up 2, and coming out of this one here on the bottom you're going to go straight through the next one. Just make sure that they stack nicely. Then picking up 2 again, coming out of this one, straight through the next one. And picking up 2, coming out of this one, straight through that one and up into the one above. So we have this. Same thing again, pick up 2. Coming out of this one, you're going to go straight down through the next bead, or across through the next bead. Now picking up 1. Coming out of here, you're going to skip that one underneath and go through the next one on the top row. Now picking up 2. Coming out of that bead there, you're going to go straight down through the next one. And just make sure again that they stack nicely like that. Now picking up 1, coming out of here, skip over 1 and through the next one. Picking up 2, coming out of this bead, straight through the next one. And now picking up 1, coming out of this bead, skip that one underneath, go through the next one and up into the one above as well. So make sure you're going through those 2. If you were to just go from here through the bead on the top, it's not going to fit in this gap where it's supposed to be, and it's going to distort your shape. So just make sure you're skipping over 1, through the next one and up through the one above, so it pops into that gap. So next row, pick up 2, and coming out of here, go straight through the next bead. Then picking up 1, skip over 1, through the next one. Pick up 1, skip over 1, through the next one. Now pick up 2 and go straight down through the next bead. Now picking up 1, coming out of here, skipping over 1, through the next one. And picking up 1, coming out of here, skipping over 1, through the next one. Pick up 2 and go straight through the next bead. The minute we're just doing a peyote triangle. But on the next row we're going to move off of that a little bit and start to form the heart shape. So picking up one, skipping over one, through the next one, pick up one, skip over one, through the next one. Oh, and the one above. Sorry, getting carried away. Pick up one, skip over one, through the next one, and through the one above as well. Pull that nice and tight, and your tail thread as well, so that little triangle in the middle doesn't come undone. Okay, so for this row, start by picking up 2 again, and go straight through the next bead. Then picking up 1, we're going to skip over 1, go through the next one. Here's where it changes a little bit. So we're not going to put a bead in here. We're going to go from here through that one underneath and the one above. So you're now coming out of this bead here. Then you're going to pick up 1, skip over 1, and go into the next one on the corner. So we have this little dip starting to form. Okay, then you're going to pick up 2 and going straight down through the next bead. Make sure they sit nicely. Now we're going to fill in these 2 sides like normal. So picking up 1, just turn it around so you can see, skip over 1, through the next one, pick up 1, skip over 1, through the next one, pick up 1, skip over 1, through the next one. So you have this, then picking up 2 on the bottom, straight through the next one. Now we're going to add 3 beads along this side in the same way, so skipping over 1 and going through the next one till you've added 3, and on that last one make sure you go up through that one and the one above. Okay, pull that nice and tight. Now we have this. Okay, now starting the next row, picking up 2, straight down through the next one on the corner like always. Then we're going to pick up 1, skip over 1 and through the next one. Now we're here, we're going to move down through 1, 2, diagonally down through 2, and back up the other side through 2. And then you're going to pick up 1, skip over 1 and go through the next one on the corner. So you have this, now picking up 2 and go straight down through the next bead. So we are here, so now for this side we're going to fill in with single beads 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to the corner where you'll add 2 straight through the next bead like we have done on all the other rows, and then you're going to go up this side, 1 bead, 2, 1 bead, 1 bead, 1 bead here, and stepping up to finish here. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so what you need to do now is to take your needle off of this piece for now and put it to the side, and then you're going to thread your needle onto another piece of thread that measures about 36 inches. This is going to depend also on the size of your ring, but around 36 inches. And you're going to make this same heart shape again, so you can go back to the start and just follow it again until you've got up to this stage, and you should have 2 of these exactly the same, and then I'll show you what to do next. You've done that and you've got 2. I'm just going to leave my working thread attached onto this one that it's already on, and we're going to add an extra row now to this one, or some extra beads. So picking up 2 and going straight down through the next one, and then picking up 1, skipping over 1 and going through the next one, and then you're going to pick up 1 here coming out of this bead, you're going to go through this one underneath, but in that direction, sort of like backwards, and just flip it over so it sits on top, and then you're going to go back through that bead back towards the way you were working originally. Now we're going to go back into the bead underneath, in that direction, through this one above, like that. Now we're going to turn our direction back this way through the one below, up and across through this one here. So we're coming out of this one, going through that one. And then you're going to pick up one, coming out of here, you're going to go through this one underneath, but again backwards, like that. Make sure that bead sits nicely in place. And then, like we did before, back through that bead you just added, and back into the one underneath. From here you're going to go into the one below in that direction, up into this one above, and up into the one above. So we're coming out of this bead here. So from there you're going to pick up one and go back into the bead that you're coming out of, but on the other side, like that. Pull that through, make sure that bead sits on top like that. Now you're going to go through this next bead, down into the bead below in that direction, and from this bead you're going to go up diagonally into this one, and then up and across into this one that we added most recently. And then you're going to pick up one. From here you're going to skip over one and go through that next one. And then picking up one, skipping over one and through the next one. And now we should be back on the corner. Make sure that's all pulled nice and tight. So right now we have this. Now picking up two, straight through the next bead. Okay, now we're going to work all the way down this side, just like normal. Pick up one, skip over one, go through the next one, pick up one, skip over one, through the next one, and so on until you've got down to the next corner. And then picking up one at the bottom instead of two this time, because it's going to make a nice point. Go straight through the next one. And now we need to work all the way up this side as well, so just the same, pick up one, skip over one, through the next one, oops, all the way up to, back up to the start, And when you get there, make sure you're going up through the last 2 beads so that you're on the first bead of the top row. Okay, and then pull that really tight. So now we have this and this. We're going to join them together. Before we join them together, I've threaded my needle back onto the other heart, the one where we didn't add the extra row, and I'm going to tie off these 2 threads to get them out of the way. So I'll just show you, for example, I'm going to take my needle through that gap so it's gone under those threads that connect the 2 beads, go through the loop twice from bottom through to the top, pull that down and make sure that knot's going to tighten around those threads. Pull it really tight until you feel it click, and then move onwards away from the knot, again pulling it really tight so you can't see the knot anymore. So that's how I tie my knots. So go ahead and do that with this one, and then thread it onto the tail thread and do the same. And then with your other one, leave the working thread attached, and you can thread your needle onto your tail thread, your short tail thread, and cut that off as well. Tie a knot and cut that off, and then we'll continue. Okay, so I've cut off all those extra threads, and then I've threaded my needle back onto this working thread. So this is the bigger heart, so we'll call it, this is the back heart and this is the front heart. So put this one on the top, this one at the front. Okay, and we're going to kind of close them together. Okay, so from here on the back heart where I am, I'm going to move from this bead across into the front heart through this bead on the corner. Okay, I'm here. So if you look at it this way, get them lined up. So line them up so that that centre bead that's down here in the middle is nicely lined up on both pieces. So we're about there. Okay, and now from this front piece, you're going to go into the bead at the back. You can kind of see, so it's 1 bead away from the corner, so you skip a bead and then you've got the first bead in that row. And when you hold it like this, you can kind of see that that's going to slot in there, that's going to slot in there, and so on. So out of this one into that one at the back, and from there you're going to come forward and into the next bead at the front. Okay, pull that nice and tight. From here we're going to move to the back piece through the next bead, so where your thread goes straight back, you're going to go into that bead that's going to line up next along. Okay, now from here, still on the back piece, you're going to move down through a bead. Okay, and you're going to come into that bead that's parallel on the front. So down here, like that. So we're going into that bead directly in front of the one that we're coming out of. And then taking the thread across to the back, you're going to go back through that bead where you started. We're going to go back through that one in front in that direction. Now we're going to move down a bead and across in towards the left, and then we're going to move up through the bead above in the centre, and up into one more above that. Okay, now from here, coming out of this bead, we're going to be going through that one directly behind it. So take your thread across, and you're going to be going through it in this direction. So make sure your thread falls into the right hole, and pull that nice and tight so you can't see the thread, and then back into the one in the front where you started. Okay, pulling it nice and tight. I'm going to move up through a bead and up through another bead. Okay, now moving into the back piece through this next one along towards the left, into the front piece through the next one along, which is the first bead of the corner. And now from here, you're going to move into the corner bead of the back piece, but not the first one. You're going to move through the second one. And now into the front piece. Sorry, turn it back around this way. And through the second bead of the corner of the front piece. Okay, now I'm just going to turn it this way so you can see. Now the sides are pretty easy to zip up because you're going to go from here to here to here, 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 here to here to here. So you're literally just zigzagging to the back bead, to the next front bead, oops, to the back, to the front, and just zigzagging along, zipping it up. Keeping pulling it tight so that those threads aren't going to show. Okay, so we're at the corner and you're just going to go through that single bead on the back piece and then into the corner bead on the front piece again. So we're here, and now you're just going to zip up this side in the same way, so just literally zigzagging till you get to the other end. So pull that nice and tight when you get around to there. Okay, so from here we just have a couple more steps to do for the heart. So from this bead that you're coming out of, you're going to pick up one, and if you turn it this way on the side, you're going to go through that first bead here that's sticking up on the top. So you're skipping that next one and going through this, oh, just through the first one. So that bead sits there, pull that nice and tight, and then picking up one, we're coming out of this one now. Oops. Coming out of this one. So we're going to skip those two underneath and go through the next one right there. So now we're just going to go from this bead, we're going to move back into the bead below. Oops. Back through, whoa, the next one along. So from here through the one above and to the right. Now through the next one along, down and to the right. And through the next one along. From here we're going to move up into that first bead that we just added a minute ago. Picking up one, skip the one underneath and go through the next one to the left. So that's this side of the heart finished. I'm just going to go over to the other side now and do the same thing. So I want you to move from this bead down through two. So we're here. Now you're going to go across again through this one in that direction. And across through the one below, now towards the left, so back towards the way we're heading. I'm going to go across through the one below and all the way up through these beads, from here all the way up to the corner. Okay, so you're coming out of the front corner, you're going to go through this bead on the back corner, so it's the bead on this side of the back corner, the side closest to where we're working, not the one that's going to go down the side, like that. Now you're going to pick up one, skip over one, oops, skip over one and go through that next one on the top in the middle. From here we're going to pick up one and go back into that bead that we're coming out of, but on the opposite side. This is probably an easier way to do it than the other way. So we have this. Now picking up one, skip the next two here and go through the next one on the top. Pull that all nice and tight. Now we have this, so our heart is all finished. Okay, so this is what we're on now. I'm going to turn it around to the back. So this is the back of the piece. So I'm coming out of this bead here, I'm going to move through two towards that direction, and then up through two to be here at the corner. Now where you add your ring band from is up to you, so you're going to have to place it on your finger and kind of decide where you want the band to come from. What I'm going to do is, oh, where am I? From here I'm going to move down through the one that's level with it, so I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to move down through this one. Now I'm going to move down through one, and down through one to the left. And that's where I'm going to attach my band from. And when you come round to attaching it on the other side, you need to be able to find the same bead. So from this, you've got these three corners that go up. So I'm coming one bead below that end corner bead. So it's going to be this bead here on the other side when we join back around. So just make sure you can find the exact bead so you're not going to make it wonky. So the band's really simple. So you're going to take your ring band colour and pick up seven of those, and then you're going to go back into that bead that you're coming out of, but on the opposite side to where your thread's coming out, so that you're creating a loop. Pull that through. Then you're going to move through three that you just added, and through one more. And we're doing that in two separate moves to kind of create the right angle shape. So we have this, and then you're going to pick up again 7, go back into the bead that you're coming out of on the opposite side, move through the first 3 that you just added, and then through 1. Okay, so you're just going to continue doing that until you've got the length that you need. So you need to keep measuring it as you go around your finger until you're just about back around here. It will shrink slightly when we do the next step if you want to do the next step, so just bear that in mind as well. So go ahead and make the length of your ring band, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I've gone to almost the length that I need, so it's almost going to fit, and then we need to join it to the other side. So again, you need to find that bead that's the exact same bead on the other side. So it's the one I need to join onto. So you need to take your ring band and bend it round to make sure that it's not twisted. Make sure it's going to be flat. And then you want to find that bead again that you're going to be going into, and make sure you're going into it on the right side. So for example, you're coming out of this side of this bead, you want to go into that side. If you were coming out of that side of that bead, you're going to want to go through that side again so you don't twist it. So I'm coming out of this side, I'm going to pick up 3 and go into that bead in the side that I'm coming out of. Make sure that stays pulled tight whilst you do this. Okay, and then picking up 3 and going back into the ring band through that middle bead where we connected, where we started from. Okay, so you have this, now pull that nice and tight, and then you want to go through that again a couple of times just so that that connection is nice and secure and tight. So I have this, and then you want to move through the first 3 beads of your ring band. Like that. Now you can leave your band like this, or you can add in the extra beads like I did on this one, which I'm going to do here just to tie in the colour of the heart. So I'm picking up one of my heart colour, or you could do the same as your ring band. And you want to go through the 3 beads on this side of the next loop, so 3 beads that are loose down the side, just ignoring those middle ones that connect the loops together, and then picking up another one and going through the next 3 beads of the next loop, and picking up one and going through the 3 beads down that side of the next loop. So you're going to do that till you get to the other end. So then you'll have this. I'm at the end, so just go through that bead that you're connected to so you can start working on the other side. Up through the first 3 like we did at the other end, and then you're going to do the same along this side. So just going, picking up one and going through the 3 beads of the next loop. Oops, so go ahead and do that all the way along, and then all that's left to do once you've done that is to pull it really tight, make sure it's all straightened out nicely and that it fits, and then you can go ahead, tie a knot and cut off your thread like we did before, and you'll be all finished. So when you've done that, then that's your ring all finished. So this is what mine turned out like. And then here's my other one. So cute. I think also if you just made the hearts, like the double-sided hearts, did like maybe 3 in a row in different colours, it'd make a really nice statement earring. But this is what the rings turned out like, so I hope you're able to make one of these and you enjoyed this video. Comment down below anything else you'd like to see, and if you do make one, you can always send me a photo on Instagram at Beadingbyhannah and follow me there. Like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye.